Alright, welcome to the queue. Round 2 of the 1942 BBR setup playtest is about to begin. The score track is at round 5 because the game ends at 8. But this is the second turn of that playtest. All the technology has been revealed for all the nations that have it. The income, we had 2 mistakes in the first round. The first one was a German sub that was mistakenly placed there and attacked. We corrected that. The second mistake was mine. I accidentally picked up this guy here from Novobritsk and moved him into Smolensk when that battle was over. So I moved him back and he will be penalized to stay there that turn. And let's get ready to go with the turn. So with the purchase, we have for $47, we're moving the factory 1. We got an infantry, that's your $6, there's your $7. And on your 40, we've got 3 tanks, 6 infantry, and an artillery for the 40. So that's a 47 total spend. And let's move some aircraft. So we've got a tactical that will be moving in to Besabaria with 1 infantry. We have a fighter moving into western Ukraine with 2 left. And we have 2 fighters from Leningrad on an air base. So this fighter will go 1, 2, 3 and have 2 left into western Ukraine. The second fighter will just go 1 and have 4 left into the Baltic state. Other units joining the battle, like I said, 1 infantry coming in from the Ukraine to Besabaria with that TAC. I've got 3 units, well it'll be 2 infantry, 1 artillery, 2 planes going into western Ukraine. Baltic states, I have 2 infantry, artillery, and a tank from Belarus. Hate to lose the tank, but that's the way it is. And then 1 infantry, 1 artillery from Leningrad coming in from the north. Now let's roll some dice. I can't find my dice cup. Here it is. Alright, so let me set this down where I can see the Baltics. Well, let's do Besabaria first, because that might depend on some things here. So Besabaria, we have a first strike with the tactical bomber. See if it gets a hit. It does. Italian infantry is toast, does not get to fire back. And unfortunately, that is the first Italian casualty of the war. Alright, so the next battle will be there in the western Ukraine. I have 2 fighters at 3. 1 infantry at 1, 1 infantry at 2, and 1 artillery at 2. So there's the dice. Okay, well that didn't work. Let's try that again. Keep them in the cup. And that is a total of 3 hits, which is what Germany has. 2 infantry and 1 mech. So they will have 3 2s to defend. So there's 2 2s. Let me add a 3rd, and there we go. Oh man, that is just like the first round. Alright, so that battle is over. The next battle is in the Baltic states. I will have a plane at 3. I have a heavy tank at 4. I have 2 artillery at 2, 2 infantry boosted at 2, and 1 infantry at 1. So that is the dice that I just called off. 2 hits. So Germany coming back at me has 2 mechs and an infantry, so that'll be 3 at 2. And 1 heavy tank at 4, and I will remove the 2 casualties from the first round. Alright, clear the Russian dice. Oh! Damn it! Payback. So that will be 3 Russian infantry down. Not good. That leaves me with 2 artillery, 1 heavy tank, 1 fighter. So that's 2 at 2, 1 at 3, 1 at 4. Need 2 hits. Got 3. Alright, so that battle is over. Germany gets to roll a 2 for the mech and a 4 for the heavy armor. And they get 1 hit back. So let's set that there. We'll lose an artillery. Alright, so that is a victory. 1, 2, 3, and that is 0. So Russia is up 3. And Germany is down 3. Wow, that was a terrible glare. So Germany's down 3. Russia is up 3. So they're at 35. Alright, so let's make our moves. My microphone off. See if I can do this all from the tripod here. Alright. So this TAC bomber, having 2 left, will land in the Ukraine. Along with these 2 fighters that have 2 left will also land in the Ukraine. That's what's there. Those are now gone. Most likely soon to be back. That's what takes the territory. Alright, so I've got that fighter there. I think... What will we do with that fighter? You can't really hit anything it needs to defend, so we'll keep all the planes together. So it'll go, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. It had 5 movements because of the air base. Alright, so the factory move was right there. And that leaves the non-com moves. Take that away. This artillery or anti-aircraft gun and infantry. You know what? The infantry, the anti-aircraft gun, sorry, goes into Ukraine. The infantry goes up to Bryansk. We will rail this infantry. Let's clear out some space first. All right. So these 3 heavy tanks will move into Archangel along with 2 infantry, 1 artillery. We will rail this Russian soldier. Assuming, yeah, we got to check, see if you can see that from Stalingrad. 1, 2, 3. This soldier from Caucasus will move up to Rostov. These 2 will rail into Leningrad. 1, 2, 3. I don't see any suicidal attacks by planes, so those anti-aircrafts and guns in Leningrad will stay. My Russian sub will remain on convoy duty on its nice new marker, task force marker. Thank you, Wartorn. All right, in the Far East, we are going to slide one guy into Siberia, one guy into Amur. We will rail using the Siberian Railroad this artillery from Moscow to Amur. That leaves these three guys in Central Asia. He will march one. They will march. I say that. Let's wait and see what Japan does. We will leave them there for the moment. All right, so that looks like all our non-combat movements. Let me make sure. All right, so we're golden. Let's place out our buys. The factory movement, that is done. We have an infantry and an artillery and a heavy tank going. Oh, we moved that one. All right. Then that will be our southern buy here into Ukraine. You know, I take that back. Let's put a heavy tank and 2 infantry into the Ukraine. That's our build. 1 heavy tank, 2 infantry. That artillery will go onto the railroad so I can go multiple directions. The factory up north in Russia that moved gets 2 infantry because you have to, there's a 1 penalty for the move. Now I have 2 heavy tanks, 4 infantry that are going into Moscow. All right, so that is where my build placement, that would be 4, 5, 6, 7 in Moscow. That guy gets out of focus. He looks a lot like my defend Moscow guy. Look at it. There we go. I think that's the exact same sculpt. So we will put him back in Moscow. All right, now the recap. You know what? I got to roll for the Lend-Lease first because that might change by a unit here. All right, so Lend-Lease roll will be a 3. And a 3 on the card is a tank in Archangel or 3 IPCs. Man, that is tough. That is tough. What do I do? I tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to place this chip under those heavy tanks. So there's an extra heavy tank there. That worked out nicely. Now the recap. All right, we'll start at the far north. C-Zone 125, 1 sub. C-Zone 127, 1 destroyer. City of Leningrad, 2 anti-aircraft guns, 4 infantry, 1 heavy tank. City of Archangel, 4 infantry, 1 artillery, 4 heavy tanks. Baltic States, 1 artillery, 1 heavy tank. Belarus, 1 infantry. Smolensk, 1 infantry. Moscow, 1 anti-aircraft gun, 1 artillery, 2 heavy tanks, 4 infantry. City of Bryansk, 1 infantry. Western Ukraine, 2 infantry, 1 artillery. Bessarabia, 1 infantry. Ukraine, 4 infantry, 4 heavy tanks, 2 mech, 1 anti-aircraft gun, 1 tactical bomber, 3 fighters. City of Rostov, 1 infantry. Now the rest of Asia is Samara, 1 infantry. The weird name, Tunguska, 2 infantry. Amur, 2 infantry, 1 artillery. Siberia, 3 infantry. Now the cash should be 35 on the income tracker, plus 3. I have 3 because I still have Northwest Iran, and plus 5 for control of 3 of the 4 territories. So 35, 46. So I lost $1. Oh, Karelia. All right, so $46 comes back to Russia for the next turn. And next up is Imperial Japan.